Hello, boys and girls. Welcome back to another exciting episode of the Horror Healing YouTube channel and the South Jersey Horror Podcast. Today, I am sitting down with the wonderful, the beautiful, and the talented Amy Schumacher, who plays Amber in the upcoming movie, Steven LaMorte's Screamboat, which is due to release April 2nd of this year. Thank God, because I can't wait to see this movie. Um, from what I understand, Steve LaMorte is a very talented director. I love the Mean One, really good movie. And I know you played Mary McBean, which is great. Which is great. And so yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing this. So for those who are not familiar with this movie, who have not been keeping track, um, too bad. I'm gonna tell you about it anyway. Screw it. So the movie is about a late night boat ride turns into a desperate fight for survival in New York City when a mischievous mouse becomes a monstrous reality. Can a motley crew survive a killer creature with a taste for tourists? So this definitely sounds like a really good movie. And I'm going to shut up now and bring my guest in. Amy, thank you for joining me. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
The pleasure and honor is all mine. I really do appreciate you coming on such short notice. Um, I'm glad we were able to make it happen. And I was able to get you in this month. So, because this month I'm celebrating women in horror, which is perfect. So it's like the
Awesome.
my month of celebrating women in horror, and I believe because women, I believe, give a lot to the horror community. A lot of people don't respect that, and I recognize the talent and what women put into the horror movies, how they changed the industry over the past, 50 years maybe. So, yeah. So it's wonderful that I'm
I
doing
agree.
this, and I'm glad you're here. So, after reading numerous articles about this movie, and I would have to say that this movie is putting yet I want to say a sinister but yet comedic twist on the movie of the Disney cartoon. So very interesting. And I want to know is a little bit about you and how you got involved with this movie.
Yeah, so I'm Amy, as you said. I'm an actress and producer. I'm actually married to Steven LaMorte. So we produced the Mean One together, and then we produced this one together. And I play one of the lead characters, Amber. She's a sort of tough as nails EMT with a soft spot for people in need, and which is different than my character in the Mean One, who's kind of a nasty lady who's on a mission. And yeah, so we've been working on this project together for, I guess, the better part of 2 years in pre production together, moving toward getting to film. We filmed last year in New York and then a little bit here in LA. And now we're just in the marketing and promotion and getting ready to put it out into the world.
Yeah, I watched the trailer and it looks phenomenal. I mean, the sad part is I love Mickey Mouse, but now
Uh,
that this coming out, it gives changes my whole perspective on the character.
I think that's great. I think that's great. Let me tell you why. Because our movie is sort of a love letter to Disney. It's filled with like Disney jokes, Disney references, Easter eggs all over the place. Of course, our guy is Steamboat Willie. He's not Mickey Mouse because Steamboat Willie
Yeah.
is in the public domain. But you're going to see a lot of the lore of Disney. He has a great backstory and he's super funny and fun. I mean, he's miniature in the movie. Um,
Really?
yeah, he's 3 feet tall, which is the size that Steamboat Willie would have been. And so he's funny, he's mischievous, he's funny. The gore is wild, the kills are crazy, but there's a lot of like, if you love Disney, I think there's a lot to love in
So David Howard Thorne is playing Steamboat Willie, right? But
it.
I'm
He
guessing
is.
3 feet tall. I'm not. I mean, I'm trying to
Yeah,
imagine him being 3 feet tall, which is very hard because I've met David in person. He's pretty tall. So
he's tall. He's 6'1", I think.
yeah,
So that's, I mean, and that already it's making you smile. Like that's part of what
yeah.
makes it funny and fun. So used we used practical effects. So we shot David and we're shrinking him down so that he is small within the movie. And then whenever we had to, there was sort of a what we called the stunt double or the stand-in for David, which is a puppet, a beautiful puppet that was built by Quantum Creation Effects. They designed the suit that David wears, and the puppet is basically an exact replica. So whenever he needs to come in contact with a person, he has to be the puppet. When he is playing Steamboat Willie, he's using props that are just 3 times the size, so they're massive. And then we put him in a
Wow.
set so that he is small within a massive, set.
David is the last person who I think who to agree to do this.
His performance in it is so silly and so fun. It's like David doing his some of his best work. He's so silly and funny, and he brought so much to the character. And he's in prosthetic makeup and this big, hot, sweaty fur outfit, but the character is not a man in a costume being evil Steamboat Willie. He is supposed to be a creature. So David becomes this creature, and he had the ability to move the prosthetic. So his face moved, his whiskers and his nose can move, because David's such an amazing creature performer that within it, you can see David's energy and comedic timing and all of that stuff come through the costume, even though he's in a massive, like, huge head costume.
I would have to agree. David is a very talented actor. I mean, Art the Clown, The Grinch, which I know is like another public domain thing I can't really say, but then the me one, um, plus this one. So it's like I don't know if he's played any of the characters in horror movies that I can think of. I'm such a horrible fan. I suck at this. Um,
I
it's
think
just
he just did a Joker thing.
yeah, I saw that on Facebook. Social media a lot, but yeah, he did wonderful as Art the Clown and as the Grinch. But then now I can't wait to see him as a 3 foot mouse.
Yeah, he's very funny. The comedy he brings to Art the Clown and the cool physicality he brings to the mean one, it's like a combination. He also is in Stream. I don't know if you've seen Stream. He's
Yeah,
one of the players
I
in
see that.
Stream. And you can see his physicality in that character too. Like, he's so fluid in his movements and stuff.
Yes.
So it's just that awesome body awareness that he has. That he just brings so much life to our silly, mischievous little mouse.
So I noticed in okay, I think everyone notices that like when he plays Art the Clown on the when he has no dialogue. Does he have any
Uh-huh.
dialogue in this movie at all, Screamboat?
So he does, but not in the way that you think. So Steamboat Willie is what's in public domain, and Steamboat Willie was silent. It's a silent movie.
Yeah.
So within our movie, he whistles, and he did all the whistling himself. So he whistles a lot of different songs, but he he does it in a way that's like a dialogue. It's
Yeah.
a conversation. It's setting up what's about to happen, and he whistles and he makes, Steamboat Willie noises and giggles and stuff like that in such a fun way that you feel like he's talking. I think he's more vocal than Art the Clown and the mean one for sure. Um, so yeah, basically. But no, he's otherwise silent. Like, he doesn't say words.
Love it. I love it. And makes you can't I that makes you more anxious to see the movie. So from your perspective, your character, Amber, can
Mhm.
what is her role besides is she like an actual EMT in the movie?
Yeah, yeah. So I play an EMT who is, she's a little hardened by being an EMT on the New York City streets, but she has a really soft spot and feels a strong will to save and care for people. And throughout the story, you do get to see that. So as an actress, I also do some stunts, and so I have a very cool fight scene at toward the end. I fight back, I protect, and so the story really is following these three, unlikely characters who come together to try and get off the boat and save other people on the boat, as Steamboat Willie has been released to create, murderous Minnie Mouse mayhem. And so, so we are working together as a team to try and rescue and save and get off the boat. And because Amber is the EMT, then it comes into play to really try and be the caretaker and like the brains of the operation. Whether
Right.
that succeeds or not, you'll have to wait and see.
No spoilers, people. Sorry. Just like she said, you're gonna have to wait until the movie is released. Just get in line like everyone else. Okay,
That's
so
right.
what can the audience expect to see in this film? I mean, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
details. I want to do as much details as possible that you can give.
Sure, sure. Steamboat Willie is in the movie a lot. There's a lot of really awesome gore in the movie, and it's all funny and fun. I mean, if you're, if you're into
Yeah,
horror and it's a fun time. It's a fun time at the movie. I mean, if you were to think of it like sort of a ride at Disneyland, it's a thrill ride. It's supposed to like take you on this sort of exciting, fun, funny journey. We partnered with the guys from Fuzz on the Lens, who are the producers of Terrifier.
mhm,
So we've got, Terrifier style gore, maybe not Terrifier level gore, but our movie is fun. It's funny. There's a lot of fun kills. And then there's a lot of jokes and a lot of Easter eggs. Like somebody who went to one of our early fan screenings suggested making a drinking game out of the Disney Easter eggs that you found. So every
yeah,
time you hear one or you see one or there's a line or a quip or a something, you take a drink kind of thing. And so I think our we want it to feel like lighthearted and fun.
right, right.
But it doesn't save on the blood splatter and the sticky blood that is probably still at the location. Um, so yeah, so you get a little bit of both. Splat stick is what we're sort of calling the movie.
Now, you said before the interview that you cannot disclose the location of the film set, which is totally understandable. Sorry,
Mhm.
folks, you got to wait and just wait till the article comes out online to figure out where it's filmed at. I'm keep my
I can say that it's an authentic decommissioned Staten Island ferry. So the location and the production value of being at this, what was actually a creepy location,
okay.
adds a lot. It's like a character in the movie in and of itself.
For people like me who live to visit film locations, you just gonna have to wait. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but you'll be able to do a version of it, which I think will be really fun.
Oh, nice. So there's
Yeah.
like a escape room style kind of thing going on, I guess. I don't
We
know.
have an escape room. We have an escape room being built in California. It'll be ready when the movie comes out.
So in the same sense and style of the movie, and that
Yeah.
Jesus, I'm gonna text my wife and tell her we need to leave California like right now. I mean,
Yeah. You have to come
when the
out.
movie's released. So yeah, even though I'm on the other side of the country in New Jersey, but I'll still make it. I mean,
Well, all our producers and like Steven, they're all from Staten Island. So the movie, they call it a love letter to New York. So it's the East
okay,
Coast. We'll be out there doing fun stuff. Don't worry.
awesome. That sounds great. Yeah, my wife, man, I might just take a trip by myself. I don't know. So, are there any awkward scenes that the audience may have an unusual reaction to? If you can say anything.
Oh my gosh. Yes. There's one scene in particular, and once you see the movie, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. That really pushes the limits. There are two big sort of gore scenes. One of them in particular ended up having more blood spray than anyone in the room anticipated was going to happen. The crew, is standing behind camera covered in plastic bags, getting ready for the um, gore to happen and the kill to go off. But so much more blood than anyone expected got sprayed throughout that room. Like I'm not kidding when I say it's probably still in the cracks in the walls. um, and and so that one's going to be really fun, and it's an iconic scene. So I
Okay.
think you'll see exactly what I mean when you see the movie. And then there's a second scene that is it's gruesome, but like in a funny, fun way. But it really pushes the limits. And it had to be a closed set, is what I'm going to have to tell you on that, where only 3 to 4 people were allowed to be on the set that during that moment because it's a sensitive topic, but it's
Okay.
a really fun, really ridiculous scene that does not probably go the way that you think it does.
Interesting. So plot twist, people. Just keep an eye out for that as well. Um, I'm sure there are a lot of physical challenges filming this movie. what would you say would be the least difficult and most difficult challenges?
Yeah. Um, so one of the biggest challenges, I think, so we shot on Staten Island, like I said, on the decommissioned ferry. So there are a lot of challenges that come with that. One being that the ferries are massive, bigger than you even think. Like if you think, oh, I can picture what that Staten Island ferry is like. Once you're on it and nobody else is on it, you realize just how big it is. So if you forget something on the bottom floor, but we're up on the roof, you have a 10-minute journey down to get to it. And it's a big metal box that, so, there's a lot of production stuff, walkie talkies, and all that kind of stuff that just don't work as well. So being on the boat in and of itself was kind of a challenge. But what made the benefit of being on the boat was that it also meant that it looks amazing. It looks exactly like what the set was supposed to look like. We didn't have to do a ton of extra dressing because it's got the old orange paint and the paint chips and the pipes and the creaking and the crackling and all of the stuff that we wanted the feel of the whole movie to have was built into the boat. We are actually on an old Staten Island ferry. And for an independent film to get to film on something like that, I think we're the first to film an entire movie on a Staten Island ferry because it has to be decommissioned. Otherwise, you can only shoot from one port to the next port, which I think is like a 30-minute ride. And then you have to get off and get back on and come back again. So, us being on this ferry that was docked was, I mean, just amazing. And so cool for an indie film to get to have something like a set piece as cool and big as that was really, really cool.
I've been on ferries before. Living
Yeah.
in Washington State, I've been on quite a
Oh,
few ferries.
I'm from Washington State. So
Yeah,
I've been
that's
on a lot of ferries too.
yeah, yeah. I lived there for 3 years. I lived in Tacoma and Puyallup, so
Oh, yeah.
not far from Seattle.
Yeah.
But I did work in Seattle with the federal courthouse, so I understand. I've ridden numerous ferries going like from Seattle to
Hmm.
Bremerton and Bremerton to whatever,
Oh, yeah.
to Whidbey Island, whatever. Yeah. So there are a lot of physical challenges being on a ferry. The narrow and steep staircases, um,
Yes.
the cold breeze blowing through. I mean,
Oh, man. Yeah.
so
It was
yeah,
either freezing or really, really hot because whatever temperature is outside is
yeah,
exasperated so much more inside. So if it's chilly
yeah,
outside, it's freezing inside. And if it was hot outside, it was
yeah.
like a sauna inside.
So it's like during the winter time, you're inside of ice box, but during the summertime, you're inside of a hot tin can. So I get
Yes.
it. I mean, I've ridden the ferry in all four seasons. I get it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I can imagine what the challenges were like. The least most difficult challenge, I guess. I don't know. What would that be? Well, what was that? The least difficult one.
Um, I think, oh man, I don't know. Getting everyone to set, and through they had to take the Staten Island ferry to get on a in a car to come to set. But the excitement of all of us being there and as an actor to okay, so we're all on the boat and we're all in the engine room and we're supposed to be scared and creeping around an engine room and as an actor, well really I don't have to come up and imagine with what that's going to look like or feel like because I'm standing in a creepy old engine room. So
Yeah,
it gave us so much as actors. There was so much to play of like, I don't have to play that it feels like dirty and dusty and old or creaky and, like something might be down here with us because we could feel that so much. And as an actor, I mean, that's exactly what you want. Where we
yeah,
can heighten the circumstances, we can really envision like we're fighting for our lives down here, but also I'm standing in it. And that doesn't always get to happen. If you're standing on a
yeah.
sound stage or something, you have to find that feeling versus I climbed down a little ladder and I'm not touching the greasy walls because it's dirty down here because it's an old engine room was awesome as an actor.
Sounds great. I mean, being there in that moment, I can imagine the excitement and the anticipation and do what you got to do to make this film successful, which I'm sure is going to be very successful. Um, so with
There
that
was a
being said,
moment.
Oh,
Oh,
go
go
ahead.
ahead. Okay, there was a moment. So, like I was telling you, there's the puppet, and if one of the actors is directly touching Steamboat Willie, it's sometimes it's the puppet because that's how he can be small. Because otherwise, we have to use forced perspective and all these things to make David small. But there was a moment that my character is, has come face to face with Steamboat Willie. And the puppeteer, his name is Christian Beckman. He also designed it. He's from Quantum Creations. And they were coming at me. The puppet is like starting to attack me, but they didn't hear cut. And I'm the type of person that, like, at Halloween Horror Nights, all the scare actors come after me because I'm the one that's probably going to fall down. I'm the one that's going to like scream and make a whole fool of myself because the jump scares get me. And the puppeteer didn't hear cut. Stephen called cut. And so he was still coming at me. And I genuinely had that like scream, I'm being attacked by this murderous mouse right now feeling that, like, you instantly sweaty, actually scared, like he's coming for me moment. And yeah, we had a lot of those sort of moments where like everyone behind the camera is laughing at me. I'm like, it's scary. He's coming at my face and it's scary.
I'm still trying to wrap around my head a 3 foot killer mouse. I just can't do it.
It's like Chucky sort of, but a
Yeah,
mouse
but
and
a,
evil.
a mouse that may look cute at first, but then it has intentions of, splitting or your entrails every over the walls.
It's true. Yes. And he's actively trying to do that. Yeah.
So I guess the mission of Steamboat Willie is to get everyone off the boat, I guess, or just like, okay, you're trespassing and now you got to pay. I mean,
Yeah.
I
I
get it,
mean,
man.
it's not wrong.
Anyone who's a trespass on my property, like I want them off there too. But I'm not gonna kill anybody over the fact. I mean, just get off my property, man. So I read in the interviews, not this interview, but an article. The director said in an interview that this movie is bloody and gory and raunchy. So, but it's really, like you said, it's really a love letter to Mickey Mouse. Um, did you elaborate a little bit more about that, or is like any more you can say?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I touched on it a little bit. So it's definitely bloody and gory. Um, and has, again, that scene I was kind of telling you about, a little bit raunchy, but the ode to Disney and the lore of the character and the nods and the references that are scattered throughout the movie, I hope people see the heart in the film and see that it's not just, oh, let's take a public domain character and just make him evil. It's, let's envision what it would be like if this character was evil within this world. And so
okay,
we really put a lot of heart and love into doing that. And also effort into not wanting to make sort of a dour movie, a dark movie. It's fun and it's funny. And I think you were speaking earlier about, women in horror and being a huge part of horror. And I think this movie will actually really cater to a female audience. I think it, in my opinion, caters
okay,
to a lot of different types, but
right,
a
right, right.
Disney audience, a horror audience, I think we can find a connection within this movie where everybody can sort of sit down and have a good time. And we've done a couple of fan screenings that at horror at Days of the Dead, which is a horror convention, and we did MegaCon, which is a genre convention. And the audiences, when they're coming out, they're excited and they're laughing and they're having fun. We're asking them, what was your favorite part? And of course, a lot of people are mentioning the gore, but a lot of people are saying the Disney references. The Disney references are a big highlight for a lot of people. So I'm excited for audiences to see our love of Disney within this movie.
Oh, my wife is a huge Disney fan. I mean,
Oh,
there's times that she won't shut up about Disney movies,
yeah.
and but she hates horror. So it's gonna be quite difficult to get her to watch this movie with me. Um,
Oh, please try. I think she's gonna like it. There are Disney references
well,
that I don't think everyone's gonna catch, but
well,
a Disney adult will.
she is a Disney nerd. I'm telling you. I mean, the moment the like when Moana 2 was released, the right way we had to rent it on like VOD like the day it came out. I mean, she was keeping track of that shit like no tomorrow. I'm just she was like because we were in the middle of watching we watched Hell's Kitchen, right, with Gordon Ramsay. Um
Yeah.
and she was checking on her phone, like, oh my God, Moana 2's out, stop watching it right now. I'm like, okay. So,
Cute.
so yeah. But she hates gore, she hates blood, she hates guts, all that stuff. So I mean, even though she watches Scream, which I can't understand, but whatever.
The Scream franchise movies.
Yes.
So if she likes those because they have some humor and silliness to them, and she likes Disney, please have her watch it, and then please come tell me what she thinks.
Okay.
Tell her I
Because
said it, please.
we would, in order for her to watch a horror movie with me, it has to be during the day, all the curtains open, cuddle with me on the couch, and at least some kind of blunt object next to us just in case someone comes crashing the front door. I mean,
Perfect.
so so yeah, it's very hard to convince her to watch a movie with me. If so, I don't know. I try though. I try to get her incorporated the stuff that I like, but
Hmm.
9 times out of 10, her face is buried in a book anyway, so it's really hard. Um, anyway, so on another topic, you like mentioned before, you play Mary McBean in the Me One, and also directed by your husband as well, Steven LaMorte.
Hmm.
Um, was this a huge change of pace compared to that movie?
Yes. Yeah, I think it was. The mean one was so much fun. The mean one was never supposed to get as big as it got in terms of spreading the word about the movie. It was a lot of fun. We something we were making with our friends. We had a minuscule budget for that movie. It's Steven's great idea, but we didn't have as many resources as we have on Screamboat. And then character wise, Mayor McBean isn't as big of a character as Amber in Screamboat. So I was a producer on way more days where I was just producing. But, on the mean one, I did wardrobe and, arranged catering and helped the first AD and did all the other things that, like, I wore 10 hats on that movie and I got to play Mayor McBean. In Screamboat, I have my character plays a lot more. And so I was on set as an actor more often. And I personally prefer that. But playing Mayor McBean was so much fun because it's fun to just like, I like to consider myself a nice, like, joyful, kind person. And Mayor McBean is kind of a bitch. And that's really fun to play,
I just
just to
want
be
to,
mean.
I just want to reemphasize how much I love that movie too. With me, when
Oh, thank you.
God was it? Crystal Martin. I got to interview
Yes,
her a few years back about her role in the movie.
she's such a
Wonderful
badass.
actress. She is cool as hell. I love her. Um, and just like you, she was able to squeeze in real quick, because I had a cancellation, and I asked her, "Hey, I have an opening," and she jumped in it real quick. I was like, "Yes, cool." So yeah,
Nice.
um, like I said, I thoroughly enjoyed that movie, and I cannot wait to see Screamboat because directed by your husband as well. Um,
Yes.
so yeah, so it's coming out April, and I'm looking forward to it. So after this movie is over with, and like the premiere and stuff like that, what's next for you? Any upcoming projects?
Yeah, we have two things in mind. One may or may not be a sequel to this. And then there's another we like big actiony fun horror comedy is something we really enjoy. So our next one will be in that same vein. And again, I like to do stunts, so it'll be another sort of actiony character for me. But we're shopping it around, we're pitching around this stuff, so I can't really confirm anything yet, but there'll be more from us coming real soon.
Nice, nice. So yes, that's all the questions I got. Thank you so much. I really appreciate
Thank
it.
you so much.
This has been a
This was
trip. I
awesome.
love it. Yes. Um,
Thanks.
no, honor and pleasure's all mine. I wish you nothing but success in the future in your career. And
Thank
I
you.
cannot wait. I'm probably gonna call out sick on work just to fake that I have a cold and wait to see this movie in the theater when it comes out
Please do.
because
We've got to fill the houses. We've got to fill the house on that first weekend. April 2nd, we come out, and we've got to get as many people in the door as we possibly can. Show the world and the movie theater community that these types of movies have an audience. And so show up, tell your friends, everybody come out.
okay, so I can say the movie is for the New York. So New Yorkers unite, go see this movie, spread the love, of your state, whatever we would call it, your citizenship of New York. I don't know. I don't.
Yeah,
I'm not too familiar with the whole New York terms up there, but being stationed in New Jersey, I'm gonna spread the love. Okay, so if you hear this, get off your asses. When the movie comes out, go see it. Help support Steven LaMorte, Amy Schumacher, the rest of the crew, because just watching that trailer and reading all the articles online, it looks like it's going to be a phenomenal film. Um,
thank
that's all
you.
I got. Like, yeah, thank you again for joining me today. I really appreciate it,
Thank you so
and
much.
this has been fun. So, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the beautiful, the talented Amy Schumacher. Look for the movie April 2nd in theaters. Go support Steven LaMorte and his crew. And hey, any other questions, comments, you got any? Thank you so much. I will
Thank
see you on
you.
the big screen.
All right. Thank you so much.